When I first agreed to teach a university seminar on crypto economics, I thought I'd be the expert, imparting wisdom from years of reporting on Ethereum and DeFi. My plan was to guide students through the histories of Bitcoin, smart contracts, and the philosophical debates that shape the space. I expected a one-way street for information, but the classroom quickly became a laboratory of ideas. My students, drawn from economics, computer science, and sociology, challenged every assumption. They questioned, prodded, and brought fresh perspectives, forcing me to reconsider my own beliefs. The energy was palpable. It wasn't just about how blockchains work, but why they matter. They asked, why trust code over banks? What does real decentralization look like? They weren't evangelists or skeptics, but critical thinkers invested in crypto's societal impact. This shift was the semester's first and most profound lesson. Crypto education, I realized, isn't about creating traders or developers. It's about cultivating informed citizens who can evaluate the promises and perils of a decentralized future. These students will build the bridges between technology and the real world. The classroom became a window into that future, and the view was inspiring. My students quickly dismantled the idea that technological innovation alone drives adoption. They argued that trust, user experience, and governance matter more than technical specs. Their research showed that people choose platforms that feel safe and easy, not just the most efficient. One group compared DEX user interfaces, finding that clear design led to higher retention, even if the tech was less advanced. Another group surveyed trust in banks versus DeFi, revealing that skepticism toward banks didn't automatically translate to trust in crypto. People worried about anonymous developers and smart contract bugs. Trust, they concluded, must be earned through transparency and security, not assumed. When we discussed blockchain protocols, students focused on community strength and educational resources, not just code. Their insight, a blockchain's success depends on its social fabric, not just its technology. They taught me that crypto is a digital society, thriving or failing based on its people. The revolution, they reminded me, won't be built on command lines. It will be built on trust and usability. In the end, my students became my teachers. Trust became the unofficial theme of our semester. Crypto claims to be trustless, but my students argued it simply shifts trust, from banks to code, developers, and economic models. For most, that's a harder leap. One team's study showed that transparency and external validation, like public teams and security audits, were key to building trust in DeFi. Anonymous founders and unaudited code held little appeal outside crypto-native circles. This sparked a vision for a hybrid future. Blockchain's transparency combined with new forms of social and institutional trust. Protocols might offer legal incorporation, partnerships, or optional identity verification. The goal isn't to recreate old systems, but to take the best of both worlds. The future of finance, my students taught me, won't be trustless. It will be transparent, verifiable, and distributed. Trust must be earned, not assumed. It's about radical transparency, from open source code to on-chain financials. The challenge is to design systems so reliable they become trustworthy to all. That's the new foundation for global finance. Decentralization is crypto's cherished ideal, but my students quickly saw the paradox. True decentralization requires real organization. Without structure, DAOs risk chaos and inaction. We analyzed governance models and found many decentralized projects were actually controlled by a few large token holders. Mapping token distributions revealed that decentralization is more than just distributing tokens. Students explored reputation-based voting and delegative models, where influence comes from contribution, not just capital. They realized governance isn't one-size-fits-all. Each protocol needs its own model. Building a successful DAO is as much about political science as computer science. The most successful DAOs will invest in community management, communication, and education. Launching a DAO is easy. Sustaining it is the real challenge. Balancing efficiency and inclusivity takes constant effort. My students taught me the future of DAOs lies in experimentation and community empowerment. Crypto's energy debate, proof of work versus proof of stake, was a hot topic. I expected environmental concerns to dominate, but my students approached it with data, not dogma. They compared energy impacts, digging into mining's energy mix and staking's hardware efficiency. Their report acknowledged proof of work's footprint, but highlighted complexities like renewable energy use and grid stabilization. Proof of stake, they found, is far more energy efficient, but raises concerns about wealth centralization. They modeled staking rewards and withdrawal mechanisms, showing how design choices affect centralization. The shift to proof of stake isn't just technical. It's a fundamental change in blockchain economics and security. My students moved past ideological battles, treating both systems as engineering solutions with trade-offs. Their conclusion: there's room for both. Proof of work for monetary assets, proof of stake for high-throughput platforms. Their data-driven, open-minded approach reframed the debate. They showed that the future of crypto's consensus is about thoughtful design, not tribal loyalty. It was a breath of fresh air. Early crypto saw regulation as the enemy, but my students took a pragmatic view. They saw regulation as inevitable and potentially beneficial if done right. Their research compared global regulatory frameworks, showing that clarity, even if strict, boosts investment and innovation. The real threat isn't bad regulation, but no regulation at all. They tackled DeFi's legal challenges, proposing embedded compliance in smart contracts and legal wrappers for DAOs. This would allow decentralized protocols to interact with the real world without losing their ethos. My students understood that productive dialogue with regulators is essential. The next generation isn't fighting old battles. They're shaping smart, effective rules. The future of crypto will be defined as much in government halls as in code repositories. Their work convinced me. Regulation is a bridge, not a barrier. The rigor my students brought to research was inspiring. In a hype-driven industry, they insisted on data, building their own models and drawing independent conclusions. One student used econometrics to show stablecoins' real-world use in remittances and savings, not just trading. Another group tested decentralized prediction markets, running experiments and comparing them to traditional forecasts. They documented liquidity, participation, and accuracy, providing hands-on assessments of crypto's capabilities. This empirical mindset is what the industry needs to mature. They're replacing hype with hypotheses, speculation with statistics. Armed with academic tools, they're building a foundation of credible, independent research. Their work is a preview of a more data-informed, intellectually honest crypto industry. The next generation is raising the bar for everyone. Our deepest discussions always circled back to people. My students emphasized that crypto's fate depends on building strong, inclusive communities and designing incentives for positive behavior. They saw crypto as a social revolution, not just a technological one. One project explored an NFT community, revealing that value came from belonging, not just scarcity. The most enduring projects transform users into communities. Students pushed tokenomics beyond supply and demand, analyzing how vesting schedules and airdrops affect trust and loyalty. They debated how to reward genuine contribution over speculation. The next wave of adoption, they argued, will come from solving real problems for real people. The first crypto users were adventurers. The next billion will come for better, cheaper, or faster solutions. My students taught me that crypto's success will be measured by lives improved, not market caps. The future they're building puts human needs first. Technology must serve people, not the other way around. That's the revolution that matters. As the semester ended, I realized I'd been looking at the future of crypto all along, in my students. Their curiosity, collaboration, and refusal to accept easy answers taught me more than any book or conference. They're not burdened by crypto's past or tribal conflicts. They see the connections between code, community, economics, and ethics. The real work is building trust, fair governance, and real value for people. They're not just technologists, they're social architects. Education is the best investment we can make in the decentralized web's future. These seminars and student clubs are incubators for the next great ideas and leaders. The future of crypto will be about thoughtful integration, new forms of trust, and a diverse generation of builders. I went in to teach, but became the student. The future of crypto is in very capable hands.